So about 2.5 years ago, I went to the Indy 500. I was the outsider in an unfamiliar setting. This week, me and my good friend here, Ryan McGee, we've flipped roles a little bit, and you've come into the paddock and you've done this pretty intense. You know, you've been here for 3 days now. You've seen a world championship. You've spoken to a world champion before he won the championship. Just tell me a bit, first of all, about how the experience has been.
Oh, it's been fantastic. I've seen championships clinched in IndyCar and Supercross, obviously in NASCAR. I mean, give me a series. And I've never seen, my whole life I've grown up watching everyone rushing onto the grid and the flags and the celebrating the championship, and I got to see it in person. And by the way, really liked the champion. Had a chance to chat with him on Saturday night. I've chatted with him, Lewis Hamilton, several times over the years, but it's been interesting as I kind of parachute in every 4 or 5 years, seeing the maturation of this guy that we all earmarked as a kid, going to be the next big thing. And now he's the next big thing, and he handles it so well. I mean, in my opinion.
Yeah. And what was that like speaking to him? Because I've seen the interview. He's pretty relaxed. He had a bad day, and I think you warmed him up. I think you got some good stuff out of him. But how was he? I mean, he's on the cusp of history, and you're talking to this guy who next year could be matching Schumacher's records. He could be one of the greatest of all time, and you got to sit there intimately with him, not too far from here.
I was shocked that he did it. I mean, this is the night before he's trying to make his dreams come true, and he's trying to, there's no way at any point in his life that he believed that he would say, "Oh, I just passed Fangio for one of the, now I'm in rarefied air that only one man has ever been there before." And we're of a generation, and Lewis is too, where Schumacher set records that I believed would never be approached, and now they're approached and more than likely going to be broken. And so he was great, and I think that as it takes a couple questions. And he was very, very disappointed, obviously, with the qualifying. Said it was one of the worst days he'd ever had at the racetrack in his career. And it was not hyperbole. I believed it when he said it. But I think once I started throwing questions at him from texts I'd received from Mario Andretti and Jimmy Johnson and Antron Brown and these racers, Bubby Wallace, and I think he kind of realized, oh, wait, maybe this guy knows some people. Maybe that helped a little bit.
We just name dropping.
Right,
we just name dropping.
100%. No, I'm a name dropper. You know me very well. I'll do that in a heartbeat.
And just to flip it back to you coming back this weekend, I remember when we spoke at Indy, I loved the openness of it. I loved the fact that you could walk into a garage and you could see a car. Yeah. The only thing, don't look underneath the car.
Right.
You've said already to me this weekend it's kind of the opposite. Just tell me a bit about what that's like. And you got on the grid. That was probably the first time you saw a car this weekend, actually just before lights out.
I got here early Friday morning. I was here all day Friday. I was here all day Saturday. I was here at crack of dawn on Sunday. Had yet to see a race car that wasn't like a 1977 Lotus that they were running in a classic deal or a GP4 car or whatever. I hadn't seen a car, and it was the craziest thing to me. Now, the good news is that I had not been in the paddock in several years. It's a much more relaxed place. Yeah. Everybody seems like they're in a much better mood. No offense, Bernie, but they're in a better mood now than they were 4 or 5 years ago, certainly 10 or 15, 20 years ago. So that's good. The bad news is that, yes, it took me 3 days to see a freaking race car. But once I got there, and being on the grid was ridiculous. And I saw Jeff Gordon, who I've known forever, and I just dropped another name.
Yeah, I was just saying.
Yeah. No. You like that? Yeah. But Jeff Gordon was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And this is a guy who has seen some stuff. So, no, it was fantastic.
And I'm going to put you on the spot. We always do way too early predictions.
Right.
You've spoken to the man. You've seen him win his 6th championship. 2020, Lewis makes it 7?
I think so. I mean, there's no reason to think the team's going to slow down. In the last 6 years, he's averaged 10 wins a year. He needs, 8 to tie Schumacher, 9 to pass. Schumacher was the exact same age when he won his 7th championship. I mean, it all lines up. And Hamilton was very quick on Saturday night when I said, well, do you ever give yourself a chance to kind of sit back and enjoy this, or are going to save that for retirement? He goes, I will not address the word retirement. So I think he's got years left. He's not going to go away and come back. And I think he's not going to go away anytime soon. So yeah, next year, he's the guy, right? You agree with me, correct?
100%. Yeah, I think we're witnessing the future greatest of all time do his thing. We're witnessing history being made, and I think that's what's remarkable about today is that, like you said, he could have come here and just finished 8th. But he was in a bad mood Saturday night because he qualified 5th, which is, he's wired a different way to me, certainly, and probably to you and to most people watching him. Yeah. So I think that the way he always steps that performance up explains a lot about where he is. So what a guy. Unbelievable.
We're witnessing history, and we're doing it together. Yeah. And see, this young man right here, one day I told him he's going to wake up, and they're going to be asking him questions about, man, what was it like when Lewis Hamilton was winning championships? And we'll know.
There you go. You heard it here first. Nate Saunders, Ryan McGee at Austin.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content plus live streaming, make sure to subscribe to ESPN Player.